was at my car. It was going to be a regular day at the office, but little did I know that somebody had a different plan. I was about to be tagged.
Staring at the plains as they make it red off the corpse of the land. There in the midst of wandering a countless unnamed walking dead.
Hey everybody, Steve here. I thought I'd go undetected. Trying to be careful, but yep, I got tagged. And instead of me talking about myself and trying to give 5 fun facts, I thought I'd let some people close to me give you some fun facts about me. So take a look and we'll see what they say. I know you're probably expecting to see somebody besides myself, but my wife's a little camera shy, and on top of that, she just doesn't really get this whole YouTube tagging thing. So she kind of left me with something I could tell you, but she doesn't want to come on camera herself and say it. So some of you know my wife's Korean, and I spent about 12 years over in Korea when I was in the military. Anyway, my wife said that I could share this story with you. And here's an interesting fact, is that I asked for my wife's hand in marriage. In other words, I went to her father and he interrogated me for like 3 hours, and I'm sitting on my knees, I couldn't move, and by the time it was over and he gave his permission for me to marry his daughter, I had no feeling in my legs and I almost passed out. So and I kind of returned the favor too, as I called my parents up and asked my dad if I could marry my wife, and yeah, they gave permission too. So pretty interesting though, because I later found out that if my wife's father didn't give his permission, that she could either do one of 2 things. She could either go with me and then basically be excommunicated from her family, or she could obey her family and never see me again. So, and I didn't know this until after I got permission, so but that was probably a good thing. But anyway, it's another interesting fact. Yep, at one time I wanted to be Spider-Man, so I ended up taking, I was in the garage one day as a little boy. I took a bunch of rope, looked up in the rafters in the garage, and I thought, what a better place to swing around and fight crime. So I took one end of the rope and I crawled up on some boxes and tied it to the rafter, brought the rope down, went up on top of a bunch of other boxes, and proceeded to tie the rope around my wrist real tight. And because I didn't have that spider web thing that shot out of your wrist. And so I did that, and I'm standing on these boxes. It must have been about 70 feet high. Well, maybe 7 feet, but it felt like 70 feet. And then I decided to spin my web and jump off and fight crime. And so I jumped, and the feeling was magical. I mean, it was just like in the cartoons, and well, at least until gravity took over, and then the rope was too short, and so it kind of jerked me, and so I'm hanging in the garage by my arm, and it felt like it popped my arm out of socket, and I'm about a foot off the ground, and so I'm screaming, the rope's cutting into my wrist, and the only thing that saved me was that the rope that I tied to the rafter, it wasn't a really good knot, and it came undone, and I fell to the ground and landed on my keister, and needless to say, that was the last time that I ever played Spider-Man. So, and another fun-filled fact.
Hi, I'm Tina, and I just want to say how great my dad is. It's just an honor to be his only child, so I don't have to share him with anyone else. My friends all wish he was their dad, but I am so happy that he's mine. He gets to go to the mall with me, he plays video games with me, and he's just so funny. And it's just so great to be around him. But sometimes he's a little annoying.
As some of you know, I spent some time in the military, and one of the things I liked about traveling was meeting the local people, or the natives, and their cultures, their food, and getting to know them. Really broadened my horizons as a human being. And one time, the natives had come and invited me to go to dinner. So we go to this family restaurant, and the table was just filled with tons of food, vegetables, and all kinds of stuff there. And as we're eating dinner, I mean, they had these barbecue ribs, they had the little stew action going on, and they would explain to me, well, this vegetable is grown up, and this is how it's prepared, and this is so on and so forth. And it was just, some of it was okay, and some of it was just awesome. It was incredible. So we got our eat on, and it was great. So anyway, we're sitting back, and I'm asking these guys, I'm saying, hey, I said, by the way, those ribs and the stew, I mean, how was that, what is that all about? That stuff was awesome. Well, it ended up that you've heard the saying that a dog is man's best friend. Let's just say in more ways than one. And it all depends on how you marinate the meat. Yep, another fun-filled fact. Yeah, I have two younger brothers, Rusty and Gabe, and they're 12 and 14 years younger than me, and I used to be a real mean older brother. The reason they're not here is because one's on a cruise and another one is about 4 hours away, so I figured I could fill in for them. Anyway, I was a pretty mean older brother, and like when they were like real little, like 3, 2, and 3 and stuff like that, and I would be drinking a Coke, instead of sharing my Coke with them, I'd get a glass and I'd pour lemon juice in it and I'd give it to them, and their faces would pucker up really bad, and so they'd never ask me to have my Coke. So anyway, probably scarred them psychologically really bad, so taking this time to say I'm sorry publicly, and that I hope everything works out. Love you. So there you have it. The 5 fun-filled facts, and they're actually a lot deeper than that. They're the unique little quirks and idiosyncrasies that make us human, that make us all unique and special, and it's important to be able to reach out and to the fellow members here on YouTube and to really know someone a little bit better than we did before. After all, it's important that humanity comes together. I'm just kidding. Anyway, so let's see. Who's going to get tagged next?